Hey, it's Joe Glines, and in this video in AHK Studio, I'm going to talk about the different backup features and functionality. So here's a script. It's actually blank. I haven't actually dropped it into AHK Studio yet, but let me drag it in there. And you can see, other than that script, there's no other files in my folder. Okay, and by the way, if we go to Alt-M and say backup, you'll see disable backup is disabled, which means it's active, right? Instead of two negatives is a positive. So my backups are, it's set to backup files. Nothing will happen until I finally, let's say I make a change. Var equals the. Now, when I save it, watch what happens. So it created a folder called AHK Studio Backup, and then under that folder will be a timestamp. It's actually, because there can be multiple scripts in a given folder. So it's the name of the script, and then under that, then you have the timestamp for when it was done, and under that will be the actual script. And so every time, let me go up one level. Now let me do something else. I'll just duplicate it for the second one. Now when I save it, now it puts it in the same folder as the new timestamp. There it goes. So, which I think is really cool. So every time you save, you have a version on your computer, which you can revert back to later if you want to. One caveat, but one thing to realize is, like, so when you work on something like a lot, you'll end up with a lot of versions, of a given script. So that's one I was working on earlier today. And you can see, like, every minute, right, it's saving a different version. So here's the thing, is like, once you get too many, you might want to go through and, let's say you're ready, you want to create a version. How do I say this right? You got it where you want it to be, and it's ready for release, and so you want a version like 1.0, right? So that's where you come in here and say Alt-M, backup, and say I wrote it down here, hold on, full backup. So the full backup basically takes them, moves them all into their own thing, and keeps it as a version separate from everything else. And so now you see it got rid of those backups, it moved it in here. It's a full backup, but that was the last instance that you got the script the way you wanted, and so now it has it there. The other way, let's see now, actually, if I do with a third one, I think it will go back into this, it's going to create that folder again. So it creates a subfolder, and then it has the timestamp again. And let me do another one. It doesn't matter what's there. So I'm going to create another one, and I'm going to do it again and create another one, and do it again and create another one, and one more and another one. Now, because I wanted to demonstrate one backup. And so let's say you're not quite ready for the version, but you know what? You got 80 of these things, and you want to clear out some space. So you can do the backup one version. I'm sorry, one backup. Oh, look, it has a hotkey, Control-Shift-O. So when I do that, it should drop it down, I believe, down to 1. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That one actually, that's when you have, I think you said, multiple versions. It will collapse it down, and it'll lose everything and keep just that last version. So the one backup means get rid of all the previous versions I did of this thing and create the last, just only keep the last version, because you can have multiple versions of it. And so so I misspoke earlier, don't get me wrong. And then the other thing is, if all this stuff, if you find it annoying, again, you can just go into backup and turn on the disable backup. Whoops. And now, when I get rid of all these, actually, we got to go, where do we got to go? Oh, no, we're in the right spot, because we'll see it show up here. So I'm going to get rid of this and save it, and we shouldn't see a new folder created here. And so it's not backing up anything. Then, and I mentioned this previously, I think, but if you're in Find, you could go across and look at, is it, no, versions. Oh, then there's a version tracker, which I haven't honestly played with that one too much, but you can. It looks pretty cool. I can go in and say, okay, one. So this is version 1. What did we add? Oh, someone asked me to add a message box. Show the variable. It was Bob. And it was on my GitHub, and it was issue number 12. Right. Oh, and then we need to do another one so I can look at the instructions there. Control-Alt-A will add one. And so this one was to... Oh, missed it. Okay, I just couldn't see the highlight in there. So, reduce size... and reduce the size of the I'm not going to spell it right. Message Bob. Tim suggested that, and that was number 13. So you can see it keeps track of what's going on, and allows you to be able to kind of keep notes outside of the script on what happened, what you've done, where you've added it, who asked you to, right? So it's pretty cool. I think I can come in here now. Wait, F-enter. F1 will compile the current version branch. Alt-N to create a new branch. No, delete a version branch. Oh, commit project. Oh, it's actually built into GitHub. Yeah, I have a GitHub, but I'm not going to deal with this right now. But it'll push it out to GitHub for you, so that's pretty awesome as well. If you're using GitHub, that's a really great functionality, not have to go do all that stuff. All right, hope that helps. Thanks.